And I haven't disappeared off the face of the earth. I'm just really busy putting the online school together, and I'm doing a little bit of a segue to see if you guys are able to see the board. Now, this picture of Trump I found from Huffington Post or HuffPost, and I hadn't seen this picture before. And this is when Macron came to the White House after Trump had pulled himself out of the Paris Accord. And it went all over Twitter how, it was like almost like a slap in the face that he's planting a tree. They ended up planting an oak tree, and I couldn't believe that they snapped this picture, because this is, in my mind, Trump telling us that he is the tree of life. So that is Odin, that is, who gets sacrifices himself to the tree. And that's why the Odin wild protest, and Odin showed up at the Capitol building on the January 6th wild hunt day, Odin's wild hunt day, right? So Odin sacrifices himself to the tree. Osiris gets sacrificed and resurrects. Jesus sacrifices himself to the cross, which is like the tree. Okay, so this is all symbolic to the times we're in. And this is the picture of the Kabbalah tree with all the correct tarot card paths. It's hard to find this picture, so I wanted to give you guys this, and I have created this on the board, and I'm going to go over it with you in this video. And what I have discovered is that Psalms 119 correlates to the Hebrew letters, which correlates to the tarot cards, and it's all in numerical order. So I've done a little video for that for you to see, and I just had mentioned a few things in there that I want to go over at the front of this video. The Tower card is the tree of life. It's pi. No coincidence. Pi is the Hebrew letter. I found a song. It's called Interior People by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. So you can go and check this out. It's on YouTube. And of course, it's the tree of life, and there's energy coming to it. It explodes. So this is depicting that some great event is going to happen. And this is basically what Ascension is, right? It's an energy that comes into the planet. I talk about the star card being the Ascension card, and here it's depicted as the phoenix. And then in this picture, you can see its transformation. It's like death or ascension, right? So if you look at different tarots, you can start to figure out the esoteric knowledge from the artwork that is being presented. And after the last video, and I was explaining the moon card, the quaff, which is the Q, somebody had mentioned this, and I thought it was brilliant. This is the AI path that I see on the Kabbalah, and I do explain this all. And this key is a Q that takes your SIM card out of your Apple phone. So you start to see how the esoteric Kabbalah, tree of life, and the tarot cards and all the paths are in our reality. It's always being mirrored back at us, but we're so ignorant of understanding it, we don't even know what we're looking at. So that was a really cool find. And this is just me talking about all the different paths in Psalms 119. Enjoy. And that Q goes with the moon card. The moon card is two dogs, and in Egyptian tarot, they were two jackals that were going through the graveyard. Now there's Scorpio there. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, and Pluto is your soul. And then you have the sun and the moon together, and there's like two pillars. So you're like, the saying goes with this card is, you're clouded in insecurities and uncertainties. And that's a little bit because it's This is ruled, this path on the Kabbalah tree is ruled by Neptune. In Neptune, you're kind of in a cloud. You're kind of like dreaming. It's like in a fog a little bit. So it's saying you need to face the reality to avoid confusion. So all these people that aren't seeing what's happening in the reality now and not wanting to fight for the morality of what's really going wrong with segregation, they're just like putting their heads in a cloud and pretending none of it's happening. And that's their card. Hi everyone. Here's my new board. I put the tarot cards on here, and I want to explain to you how the Kabbalah tree is actually in the Bible. It's in Psalms 119, which is like 9/11. And I was really fascinated when I found this, and it was kind of just fell into my lap. And I thought it was important to discuss this because I had some comments on my last video where people were saying the Kabbalah was satanic. Now, what I've discovered is in the Psalms 119, the tarot cards matching the Hebrew letters is actually aligning numerically to the tarot cards. So it's all being, made so that you can understand it from an esoteric point of view in the Bible. So this is what I'm trying to bring forth, is to show that division is ignorance, right? It's really about expanding your mind, opening your heart, so that you become the hermaphrodite with your Mercury here and your Venus here, and you are able to bring Venus in a proper place in your heart, and your mind is Mercury. So you need to transmute this, and you need to do this through your throat chakra. This is really important because if you don't have an open heart, you don't have an open mind, okay? Because then you're stuck in belief system, which is mutable cross. Mutable cross is groupthink, and this is what's happening in the world today. Everybody's, it's not about logic anymore. It's about believing in the group, okay? So when you become the fool, you step away from the group. And this is what this is showing, is that, like I explained in my last video, this is explaining how you need to be the fool and step away from groupthink if you want to be an enlightened soul and get spiritual freedom. Okay, so that's what really the freedom fight is about. It's spiritual freedom so that you can become enlightened. It's not about, necessarily fighting the other side. That's more of the pillars. So in the Kabbalah, you always have the two pillars. There's this pillar and this pillar, and you want to go up the middle path. I kind of compressed all this. This is like, this line here should be longer, and the temperance card should be going this way. Same as the universe, it would be longer, but I wanted to make it big enough so you guys could see it, and then I put the cards on there. So when I was researching about the Kabbalah, I found this in Manly P. Hall's book explaining about the Kabbalah. And here he's saying that it's really important to learn about it. So he's saying here, the Kabbalah is basically, if you see it as dangerous, it's a form of ignorance, of modernism, and is prone to regard the Kabbalah either as evil or to be shunned like a plague, or as a ridiculous superstition which has survived the black magic of the Dark Ages. Yet without the key which the Kabbalah supplies, the spiritual mysteries of both the Old and New Testaments must remain unsolved by Jew and Gentile alike. So there's, she's saying that it's a link to the Bible, okay? So also here he's saying, declare that by arranging the tarot cards according to the definite order, man could discover all that is knowable concerning his God, his universe, and himself, relating it to the Kabbalah, right? So the Hebrew alphabet has 22 letters, and there's 22 tarot cards, and that they all align. And I'm just going to talk today about the 14 that are in 119, Psalms 119. Okay, so there's Psalms 119, I discovered, has like, I think 176 verses. So I went through them all because in the King James Bible, not the new version, it shows you the 14 Hebrew letters in the verses. Okay, so you can go Google that. And then I'm going to show you where they are. And then I want to discuss what they mean, what the verses in the Bible. And then I want to read to you what the meaning is on the tree. Okay, so that way you'll have a good grasp of this. And I want to share with this before I, make it in my school. I'll go through it all. And there's actually a way of memorizing the cards, okay, so that you know where they are through astrology. And that's what I want to teach, is like how to use astrology. And there's a way of memorizing astrology so you always can know it, okay, so that there's a pattern to it. And that way, if you forget, you can figure it out, okay? So that's what I'm going to teach, is like the root of astrology and how to understand it. But this, I just wanted to put it out there on YouTube because most Christians are not going to take my course because, they fear it. So I want to show how this is relating to the biblical verses. Okay, so I'm going to go here, and I wrote them all down. So the first verse is 119:1, and this is saying, "Blessed are the undefiled in the way, who walk in the law of the Lord." And that letter that goes with that verse is Elf. So we discussed this last time, that the Elf, which is really like Alpha, Omega is Libra, sorry. So we have over here is Elf, and this is Omega. And then we have, I'm going to show you the Fool card here, so you can see it in the real form. He's just walking off the cliff, and he's got his little white dog. Now, I know Ivanka Trump was tweeting with her little white dog. Okay, so, it's the symbolism for the Fool card is out there. Okay, so the actual path is 1 to 2. Okay, so we have the 1 to 2. So it's like the crown, which is God, to Shakma, 2. And this is the scintillating path, which means you're illuminated, facing the Creator, right? So you want to be the Fool. The next verse in 119, Psalms 119, is 119:9. And this is the first card, is the Magician or Magnus. It's over here. And in the Bible verse there is, "Where shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed thereto according to thy word." And this is ruled by Mercury, and the letter is Beth. Beth means house, okay? And I see the Magician a little bit like he's the guy like in the Wizard of Oz, that's standing behind the curtain, okay? He's he knows all about infinity, Pi Day, okay? And he's, understanding the world, okay? And he's kind of controlling it. He's like, the leaders of this realm are the magicians, right? They create our reality by telling us what to believe. Okay, so then the next one, and then in the Kabbalah, that path is transparent path, seeing of visions. Okay, so it's like you can see the magician. Once you can see him, it's transparent what this realm is about, right? And that's path 1 to 3, to the Kether, to the Banah, sorry. Then the next one is 119:41, and they've brought us down now to the 5th, which is the Hierophant, which is the Pope. This can sometimes be the Pope, okay, in tarot. And you can see it is the Pope. Okay, so it's the Pope. There's the 2 pillars, and he's kind of, telling us what spirituality is, right? So the verse goes, "Let the mercies come upon me, O Lord, when thy salvation according to the word." Okay, so that is vow, and this is ruled by Taurus. This is this path here, okay? And this goes from 2 to 4, and this is the internal path, foundation of faith. So, you know, faith can be good, but, you know, are they really telling us how to be enlightened in the churches? Okay, I don't really think they're telling us the true esoteric meaning of enlightenment. That's my belief, but you can see it how you want. Okay, 11973 is the 9th card, is the hermit. Okay, so the hermit runs here. He goes from the 4th to 6th. He's right here. So he's going from the chase to the Teperat, which is the sun. Okay, so this is his card. And the Hebrew letter is Yod, and this is Virgo that rules this. Now we know Virgo has the Ascension star and also the Harvest star, which is Spica, which is the Washington Monument, aligns to with the spring triangle over Washington. Okay, so that Virgo is important, but the number 9 is super important too, right? Because 9 is a sacred number in Buddhism. It's enlightenment, and we just had the Hermit card played here in Quebec where I live, because you're not allowed to go into any public area anymore if it's non-essential. So I am currently the Hermit. So that's this card, and it's all to do with Stairway to Heaven, right? The album Stairway to Heaven, that was my first album when I was a kid. I listened to this Stairway to Heaven like thousands of times, and it's a song of ascension, which I didn't know back then, but I guess somehow my consciousness knew. Okay, so that verse in the Bible is, "Thy hands have made me and fashioned me. Give me understanding that I may learn the commandments." So on the Kabbalah, it's the intelligent path, knowledge of existence. So that's what I'm saying. You have to be the fool, but you also have to be willing to step away from materialism and become the hermit. Okay, so no longer, you know, like things that was, you know, allowed for us to have before, like kind of like luxuries of traveling and all this. You have to forsake all that to become enlightened, because you're no longer part of the matrix or the material world. Then now the next one is 11981. It's the 10th card, which is the wheel. And the wheel is over here. It's this path here. Okay, sorry, I'm going to move this. This is death. It's this path here, going from 4 to 7. And this is ruled by Jupiter. It's the 10th card, and the Hebrew letter is Kaf. And this is the Wheel of Fortune. And these are the fixed cross, right? These are the symbols. We have the Aquarius, we have the bull, then we have the lion, and we have the dragon, which would be Scorpio, or that's sometimes seen as the eagle. But those 4 symbols is a fixed cross, but you see how they all have wings now. So, and the devil is on the bottom, and you've awakened your Kundalini with the snake, and there you have the Sphinx there, and you're holding the sword. So it's like you're no longer in the physical fixed cross realm. You've kind of enlightened yourself, and you're now in the realm that they can't see us in. I know it sounds crazy, but this is what the symbolism is on this card. So it's the karmic wheel. So you've beaten the game. You've figured out the wheel. Okay? So let's see what it's saying here. "My soul fainteth for thy salvation, but I hope in thy word." And in the Kabbalah, it's conciliatory path, transmitting divine influence. Okay, and then the next one is 11997. It's the Hangman. Okay, now the Hangman's over here. He's on this side here, coming down from 5 to 8. And this is the water symbol. And that's why you see you know, Trump and Angela Merkel, they're always doing this. It's for the hangman. Now, the hangman is Odin. It's I think it's spelled the fall the symbol of this way this leg is, and it's really a Odin symbol. And he hangs himself from the tree. He hangs himself upside down. That's in the mythology of Odin. Okay, and he sacrifices himself to the tree. So that's him over here. Let's see what they say in the verse in the Bible. Oh, how love I thou law. It is my meditation all the day. Because when you're the hanging fruit, if you go to the top of the tree and you basically go mutable cross and you sacrifice yourself for groupthink, really it's like service to others is the mutable cross at detriment of self. Okay, so you sacrifice yourself to the tree, and you have to meditate on that. You're kind of just like hung upside down. You need to think about what you did as you sacrificed yourself, okay? And it's called the stable path, increasing consistency. So it's like you're slowly increasing. You haven't figured it out yet, okay? And that's meme, which is really water, and that's the water symbol. Right. Okay, so the next one is 119-105. The card is the 13th card, which is death. And we have death here. The Hebrew letter is Nun. And this is the path here from 6 to 7, from the Tiphareth, the sun, to Netzach. And this is, death is really transformation. It's ruled by Scorpio, okay? That's Scorpio constellation that rules this card. And we know Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, which is your soul, and the upper house of Scorpio is Ophiuchus, which is the doorway. Okay, so transformation, the death is not like dead. It means you've transformed, and you're riding the white horse, and that's what Jesus also rode, right? The white horse. Okay, so that's that card. Let's see what it says here. Thy word is the lamp unto my feet and a light onto my path. Now, why is it a lamp on your feet? You know, this also in the Bible, it says your feet will turn to brass, is because I do believe the ascension process is scientific, and it's like you have to take the energies through the soles of your feet, the two soles, because I do believe you have to ascend to become connected to your twin self, okay? That you're going to go through the realm, the veil, and then you see the other you. And they show this in the Oblivion movie with Tom Cruise. But the energies from the CME from the sun activates you because you have to pass through Christ, which is the sun. The sun activates you and goes into the earth and comes up. And it's like it's going to transform you. It's going to come up through your kundalini, okay? And so this is why they're saying, referring it to your feet. It's called the imaginative path, renewal and change, right? Because you're transforming. Okay, so that's that. The next one is 119-113. It's the 14th card. Like I said, it would normally run, this would be longer. This running down this way, Temperance. It's ruled by Sagittarius. And where is that card? Oh yeah, it's here. Okay, so they have water passing from one cup to another. It's a winged angel. And this is innocence, okay? And the passing of memory from one to the other realm. It's almost like a continuation of your memory through the water, okay? That's the way I see that. And then the verse is, I hate vain thoughts, but thy law do I love. And it's the Samek. Samek is the Hebrew letter. And like I said, it's Sagittarius. It's the tentative path, the alchemical processes. Okay, that's 6 to 9, down this way. The next one is 119-129. It's the 16th card. It's the tower, right? This was the tower. We know how important the tower is, which is like it's the obelisk, it's the tree. Okay, I've explained this before in my past videos. And if you're at the top of the tree, you're like, you know, jumping out. you're falling out of the tree. Okay, if you're at the top. That's why it's important. And there's electrical energy coming in. And there's lots of this symbolism. I will show it some more. There's songs with it in, showing the obelisk exploding. But this is the Tower card. And, you know, we had lightning hit the Washington Monument on Trump's birthday. It's no coincidence, I tell you. And that's Pi, okay? And remember, I keep saying about Pi Day. So the tree of life, the obelisk is Pi, okay? Which is perfect. And that's ruled by Mars. I forgot to put that in there. It's Mars, okay? So the phrase that goes with it, the verse, the testimonies are wonderful, therefore my soul keeps them. And in the Kabbalah, it's exciting path, the nature of existence. The next one is 119, 137. It's the 17th card, right? 17th, you know, the 17th letter is Q. And the 17th card is the star card. I explained this before. This is running from 7 to 9. It's running this way. The star. It's ruled by Aquarius. It's the Tzadi. And this star that is on the top there is called the Wheel of the Year. It's a pagan star that shows all the pagan festivals. So this star is, you know, the whole year of all the festivals relating to celestial events, right? That's what the pagan wheel is all about. And then it's Aquarius. And I do believe the water in Aquarius is the Nemosin River. Okay, because the reason I believe that is because you retain memory. When you ascend, when you become the phoenix, you retain memory. And Aquarius is the phoenix. But Aquarius is also ruled by Uranus, or Uranus, okay? And Nemosin's father was Uranus. Okay, so this is important. This is the card. You want to be the star. Okay? It's no coincidence that all the celebrities are called stars. Righteous art thou, O Lord, and upright are the judgments. And the star in the spring, in the spring festival on that pagan year wheel that looks like an 8-pointed star is called Ostara. And there's some belief that this goes back to Ostra, which is Easter. Okay, it's all on the spring. It's Ostara is O star A, Ostara. That's a spring festival, which would be when Pi Day is. Okay, and the Kabbalah phrase with it is Admiral Path, understanding the depths. You understand the depths of this realm and the game. Okay. The next card, the verse is 119, 145. 145, you know, Trump was the 45th president. It's the 18th card, and this is the moon. And this is the Q, the Quoth. And it's ruled by Pisces and Neptune. I should put across there, but that's Neptune. And this, I believe, is the AI path, because it refers to the back of the head. And the phrase with it is, I cried with my whole heart. Hear me, O Lord. I will keep thy statutes. And so you're crying, and I don't think it's a good cry. I think it's, it's a bad cry. And this is, you know, ruled by Pisces, which is the soles of your feet, yes, but it's also spirituality. It's religion, okay? It's religion. And so the mantra that goes with that is, I believe. So it's like you believe whatever you're being told. And Neptune is the god of storms, okay? So he's, you know, so it's kind of not really good. So you're crying, and it's called the corporeal path. So this is the material realm, the formations of the body. Okay, so you're not thinking spiritually. You're just worrying about your body getting sick. You're worrying about the material realm, money, going on vacation, eating in restaurants. This is this path. It's the moon. Okay, there's another moon, right, with Cancer, the Chariot, but this is the good moon because it gives you your Merkaba, the chariot that you ride in. This moon, not the good one. Okay, and this is, the back of the head where JFK got shot, and he got moved on Pi Day and put into his memorial, which is a giant cube. So that's all that. That's not good. Okay, so the next one is 119-153. It's the 19th card, and that's the Sun. And the Sun is over here. This is the card. And this path is running from here, 8 to 9. It's called the Resh. And of course, the sun activate us. It's, the Son of God, Jesus. Oh, look, it's a little reborn guy on a white horse, resurrected. That's the sun. It resurrects you. Okay, so that's that. And the phrase or the verse, consider my affliction and deliver me, for I do not forget your law. So he's delivering your ascension. The path, 8 to 9, collecting path, celestial arts and astrology. So through astrology, you understand the sun is activating you. Only through astrology you really understand this, right? That's why Manly P. Hall said you need to understand this. Okay, the next one, 119-161. It's the 20th card. It's the Judgment. Okay, the Judgment. This is Judgment. So this is the way I see this. If you get judged, you're doing the moon trip. You're going to the moon. That's the old saying on that show. What's the old show? Oh my God, I'm gonna send you to the moon, right? I think it's his wife, the honeymooners, right? That's an old show. I'm gonna send you to the moon. So this is Judgment. I'm gonna send you to the moon. Ascension, the sun, gives you the star. You're the phoenix. Okay? You're drinking from the Nemosin, which returns your memory. Finding Nemo. Okay, so now the Judgment verse is, princes have persecuted me without cause, but my heart standeth in awe of the word. So you're being persecuted. Okay? The phrase in the Kabbalah, perpetual path, regulating the creation. It's perpetual because you're not getting off of it. It's just happening over and over again. And yes, it's all part of it because you're being harvested, and that's all part of the tree. The tree has to be fed, it's like the fruit has to hang, and that's what you end up being. It's just, you want to just recycle back in with no memory, and you want to do that for another whole cycle, which is 29,520 years, okay? And this ends up being, if you divide it by 72, an average lifetime, it's 360, the perfect circle. You have to live 360 lifetimes to get back to this opportunity to have your chance to go the golden age. Okay, that's the way the cycle works. Okay, and now this card here, the verse 119-169 is the universe card, which is what it's all about. Okay, this is running from the Yesod to the Malkuth. This is running this way, universe. This is truth. It's number 21. Let me cry, come near before thee, O Lord. Give me understanding according to thy word. So it's like you want the truth. You want to have understanding. And then you understand what I just explained, this whole cycle and how it works. And this is 9 to 10 path, administrating path, directing life's energies. It's because you finally have an understanding. And that's the 32nd path in the Kabbalah. It's called the 32nd path, 9 to 10. Okay, so that's kind of it. I wanted to show you guys all that and, understand it all. The devil card, where's the devil? I wanted to show you the devil. Okay, the devil is Capricorn. He's Saturn. And if you've ever looked at my readings that I do, or I've shown the picture before with the Freemason two pillars, the sun and the moon, I'll show it to you. I'll add it. And then you have the ladder. It's basically Netflix symbol. The Netflix, it's, you know, they have the two lines, and then they've got the one going across like this is really standing out. It's basically the Freemason with the ladder. And on the ladder, which are only earth and air signs, the spiritual ladder, the middle path, Saturn is on the center, a little green lady, and she holds the fish hook. Okay, the fish hook goes with the star, because you're getting pulled out of the fixed cross. You're getting pulled out so that you're no longer stuck on the fixed cross, and you become the phoenix. That is the fish hook. And Saturn, which is Aquarius, ruled by Saturn, which is this. But here, Saturn also rules Capricorn, and he's the devil. And Capricorn holds the key. So according to Kabbalah, the devil holds the key for you to get out of here or not. Okay? Because I believe the devil rules this realm. This is why, you know, everything is so immoral. It really, you know, it's not morally correct what's going on in this realm. Okay, so Saturn, Capricorn is the keeper of time. So he's the keeper of the golden age. So if you can see the devil for who he is, and you understand it, and you understand all this, your key's given to you, and you're given the key. Capricorn gives you the key, and he gives you the chance to go to the golden age. And that's really what it's all about. There's also, you know, there's other cards on here that I will go over, but I just wanted to go over, you know, the whole, yeah, I didn't show you the world card, the universe card, sorry. This was the last one I didn't show you. And there's the fixed cross again. There it is, but they don't have wings this time. Okay, you got the lion, the bull. Well, it's not a dragon this time, it's an eagle, because sometimes it's supposed to be Scorpio, but Scorpio represents the eagle and the dragon. And then the man or the angel is Aquarius. Okay, so that's the fixed cross. And you can see that it's a circular realm, you know, like you've got to find the balance. And this is kind of like, almost like a serpent going through her, right? It's, you know, this is what this realm is. It's the fixed cross. But the fixed cross, you know, is going down right now. It's collapsing. So they're trying to divide the souls onto mutable and onto cardinal. And cardinal is ruled by the moon, but this moon, Cancer. Not this moon, because this is just Pisces and Neptune. It's the moon card, but it's ruled by Pisces and Neptune. The real moon is Cancer, okay, the chariot. And when you have the chariot, when you're in the chariot, you're glorified, you get your wings, right? And you have the phoenix, you know, you're balancing yin and yang, and you're controlling them, right? You're in charge of your own chariot, right? So that's also, I kind of see that as the Merkaba, right? The Merkaba is, you know, your chariot. That is really like third dimensional fire symbol and water symbol. It creates the Star of David, right? But it's 3D, it's the Merkaba. So that's your chariot. You have to have your chariot around you, your armor. It's basically your armor. This is what it is. Okay, so yeah, so anyhow, I just wanted to go through that. This is the doorway out of here. This is Pluto. This is your soul. High Priestess. When you know, are able to, you know, get to enlightenment, and you can, here's the moon here. It's the Cheshire moon, like the Cheshire cat, right? I explained all that before. You want to be in Alice in Wonderland, you want to be, you know, the cat that can disappear and come back. He's always smiling. And he says, my reality is not the same as your reality. And when you can see that, and you can become the Cheshire cat, you are running on this path here, you start to see it, but the yacht is like behind the tree. You see how it's not part of, these ones are all in front. So it's like, it's hidden, okay? Pluto hides things. He's esoteric. He's the ruler of Scorpio and Fucius, the upper house of Scorpio. And that's Asclepius, the healer, that walks out through a Fucius doorway, and you have your snake and you're controlling it. The snake's not biting you, right? But how they're going to do it is with this COVID smart patch. It's like, they call it Luciferian needles. They kind of melt into your skin, and that would be considered to be the snake bite that traps you. So there's two snakes on the caduceus, on the medical symbol, and one heals you and one traps you here. Okay, so you want to be able to walk through this doorway, Pluto, your soul, and feel empowerment, because Pluto has empowerment. They say it's fear, but you know, he's powerful if you work with him. Okay, when you understand the hidden knowledge, you become really powerful. If you don't understand the hidden knowledge, it becomes fearful, because you don't understand your own power. Okay, so this is why you want to control your Pluto and walk through the doorway. So it's really fascinating, I find, like that numerically it's aligning to these 14 tarot cards that they picked, all to the verses of the Bible. It's actually in alignment. And Carl Jung's archetypes do the same thing. So we're really seeing that this is all about philosophy and how you can understand what this realm is all about and understand how to enlighten yourself so that you can detach from the madness of Wonderland and you can stop being Alice, right? But I think it's just all coming to a head because we're coming to the end of the age of the Platonic great year, and this is, you know, why it's like compressing now, and you can start to feel this divide of these two crosses. Like, it's getting ridiculous with people's belief systems. Like, you can't even speak to people logically about the vaccine or anything anymore. They're just locked in because they believe. They believe. And so I believe is mutable cross. Mutable cross is ruled by Jupiter, and on the ladder, it's Mercury. There is no Venus. There's no Saturn. There's no key, and there's no love, because it's just about the ego believing in a mind of Mercury. Mercury is your mind, your logic. It's not your Venus, your intuition. Okay? So mutable cross is your ego, because now they don't want to, you know, admit that maybe there's a chance that, you know, constantly taking a vaccine over and over again, or gene therapy, maybe not be the good thing, but they're so locked into their belief now that they will not let their ego go and say, oh, you know, this is wrong. Okay, so that's how it's being done. That's how it's played, because of your belief, and your ego will not let you back down. Okay, and your fear of losing your body won't let you back down. That's really fear and ego, right? And that's and then they're selling it by your service to others. But if you understand astrology, Virgo, service to others is always detriment to self. Okay, so that you become the hangman. Okay, so if you want to be enlightened or connect to your memory, you have to be the roots. Okay, so if you think of your root ball of your head is the root ball of a tree, and then your vagus nerves are the roots that go into the earth, you just kind of want to sink down into the earth to be the bottom of the tree and connect to the energies. And that's why Ascension isn't about floating. Okay, this is a psyop, in my opinion. Maybe you float afterwards, but you know, and you can disappear and you can fly or whatever. But the point is, it's not the upper. Okay, the upper is more about you expanding outward in astrology. It's the top of the wheel. The bottom is where you're working with your ancestral memory and your personality and all about you. And it's an inner journey for enlightenment. It's not an outer. It's not about pushing really your beliefs on people or anything like that. It's really about seeing the world, becoming the hermit, and understanding that some souls are not ready to go through this time. I think that this time there's more souls than ever going through, which will make it good when the golden age is finished and we come back to reunite with them. Their memories will be gone, but we will now be kind of kings and priests of this realm. If there's so many of us, this realm won't become so evil. Maybe the next age will be a higher enlightenment. Okay, the more of us that get through. So this is how it kind of works, and you have to understand it's just the top of the tree or the bottom, but you can see people are really divided, and I see it more now because of this understanding. I see it now as corporeality, which is the material realm. People are attached to materialism, and they're not seeing themselves from a spiritual being. So if you're an enlightened person, you don't see yourself as materialistic in the sense that you're a body. You see yourself as a spiritual being having a material experience. But people that don't believe in spirituality in any format see themselves as just a body, and that body finishes and then they die and then that's it. So they don't have the comprehension to think that there could be another dimensional realm. It's just science fiction. So because they don't believe that, and so then they don't get information coming from a higher source, they don't have any intuition that maybe something's talking to them, or that they can create things with the elements, like they can create stuff or move things, or have, just things that happen to you. Like if you're a spiritual person, you can maybe, talk to an animal, and there's things that are intuitive, right? But I think that's kind of trained out of us. So it's just, they're training you to just be Mercury, okay, in your logical brain. In your right brain, which is intuition, they train that right out of you. It's like it's not allowed, okay? Or it's like crazy stuff, okay? So this is why it's important to know, that the intuition path, the enlightenment path, is the freedom path. It's not the crazy path. Okay, being the fool doesn't mean you're crazy. It means you're standing in front of the Creator. Okay, so let me know how you feel about this, and if you guys can see it well enough, and if I need to modify it somehow for the school. But this is kind of, I set this up, and this is kind of what I was going to work with. Plus, there's other things I have the other board to use, and so just let me know your feedback on that. And what else did I want to say? Oh, I got Zoom, and so I got Zoom and working. So if anybody wants, like if you have a group of people that want to learn all this knowledge, like kind of like how it's playing out in reality, like I'm not actually teaching astrology, but kind of just talking about what's going down right now. I did like a little session with like 5 people, and I don't charge a lot for an hour, and then with 5 people it's hardly anything, and you can download your friends really fast if you can get a group of them, rather than asking them to go watch 83 crystal-tyme's videos. It's a lot of time, and people just don't have the time. So if you're interested in creating little groups like that, and I'm willing to do that, I find that fun. We just kind of talk about what's going on, and I can kind of explain it from what I've learned through all my research and what I've put out there, and I can kind of bring it down to a smaller aspect so that you can grasp it all. And I can use a share screen, and I can show stuff on how the United States is set up with the spring triangle and everything through Washington. So all that stuff. So if you're interested in that, and thank you guys for still, some of you are just still doing readings, and that's fun. And I'm doing those for you and keeping busy, so that's all good. But I want to start recording and getting this going now, the school. So let me know how you feel about it, if you can see it well enough. A little reflection, but I think it's going to work. So Give me your feedback. And signing out, and I have more stuff to do. I figured out stuff with Einstein and his birthday being Pi Day and how that all correlated through, and also more stuff about Trump and all his role in all this. So I'll get that, guys, out to you. And just trying to, so much stuff and just trying to put it together. So bit by bit, I'm getting there. Thanks for supporting my channel, and please like and subscribe, because the more it goes into the algorithms, the more people can get this knowledge. And I think it's really important right now, because a lot of people that are awakening are really thinking it's all about the Justice card, and they're getting really angry and frustrated with what's coming down the tubes. And we got to get these people to be to amalgamate their heart with their Fool, okay? And I don't want to lose these people that are fighting for justice. They need help, a lot of them. They're frustrated. The ones that are doing the hangman, I think they've decided. I don't think we're going to get them off that path, okay? But these ones, because there's three groups in the Bible, right? Mid-tribulation, ascended souls go. They witness everything from out of the matrix. The next group are fighting for justice. They didn't make ascension because they weren't in bliss state. They weren't in the Fool. Okay, and they got to watch all the hell going down for 3.5 years. Okay, why the whole moon thing's going on. Okay, the AI thing. So those are the souls. We can get these ones with us. We got more people. Okay, take care, guys. Signing out. Bye. Oh man, I misquoted the whole Platonic rate year. It's 26,920 on average. And that ends up being 72 years divided makes 360 lifetimes. So sorry about that. I had a brain fart. So anyhow, I'm just letting you know about that, and wanted to correct that. Take care. Bye. Okay, so here are the 3 crosses. I wrote out the letters, so in case you don't know alchemic symbols. So the cardinal cross is ruled by Aries, Capricorn, Libra, and Cancer. And that's Mars, Saturn, Venus, and the moon. The fixed cross, which is collapsing, is ruled by Saturn, which is Aquarius. Then you have Scorpio, which can be Mars, but it's also Pluto, your soul. Then you also have Taurus, which is Venus, and Leo, the sun. Okay, so that's the realm that we live in. It's male dominant, it's the sun pillar, and Scorpio on the other pillar, which is the moon pillar. So it's like male dominant and sexual, because Scorpio, even though it's your soul, it's also rules sexuality. So that's the realm that we live in, basically. And then those are the fire and water symbols on the 2 pillars. And on the ladder, it's earth and air. So Saturn is ruled by earth and air, and Mercury is ruled by earth and air, and so is Venus. So this is why I said before, you have to transmute your Mercury and your Venus. And then you can see here how Saturn, the little green lady in the middle of the ladder, has the fish hook, which is the star card, and that's Aquarius. And then Saturn also rules Capricorn, who holds the key. And then you can see here that it's all portrayed through the Netflix symbolism. So cardinal cross is ascension, fixed cross is collapsing, mutable cross is ruled by Jupiter, who is kind of like the god of this realm. So that's Pisces, I believe, and Sagittarius, I can. And of course you have Virgo, I serve, and Gemini, I speak. Okay, so you can see that that's Mercury, Jupiter. There's no key, Saturn's not there, and there's no love. Okay, that is the AI, mutable cross, head in the cloud, not paying attention to what's going on. That are the people that are taking the jab and are happy with segregation through the vaccine passports. Everything is about the blood moons in the Bible. The blood moon, the sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the coming of the great and awesome day of the Lord. and that's Joel 2:31. So the blood moon on Pi Day, Infinity Day, I do believe is the day of Ascension. And I will explain all that in my next video because it all ties into Einstein. And this is why Trump's team had him depicted wearing the infinity hand and him as Thanos, which is death, because death, in a sense, is ascension. And the king of this realm, the Lion King of this realm, hence why Obama showed the Lion King movie when he was kind of mocking Trump in that 2011 convention. It's all to do with the fixed cross and the Lion King having to go down. And yes, Trump did take the jab, because the jab, the needle, represents the tree of life. The tree of life is like the Space Needle. They did the big celebration with all the DNA and the moth, which is Ophiuchus constellation, the upper house of Scorpio, which is Ascension. They had that all on New Year's Day. And this is really important because this all ties into Cleopatra's needle, which is the obelisk, right? So the needle ties into Elvis Presley, who took the first polio, and then, of course, Babe Ruth, who took the first chemo, and they all died on August 16th when the sun is in the mouth of the lion. And that is the strength card of the tarot, which is balanced power, mind over matter, strength of character. And the reason it's so important that these two that took these needles, and then Aretha Franklin died August 16th too, and she has the ruby slippers on at her funeral, and she has the album with the needle. I did all that. The whole thing is because they are stepping out of this realm. I don't know if it's real that they died naturally or whatever, or it's just, this is all a coincidence, but they're stepping out when the sun is on the middle path. The narrow middle path, which is the strength card when the sun is in the mouth of the lion, right? It's between Cancer constellation, which is ruled by the moon, the only constellation ruled by the moon, and Leo, the only constellation ruled by the sun. And of course, the pyramids and the Sphinx all aligns to Regulus, which is on the shoulder of Leo, and that is basically Ascension. That is what the Capitol building aligns to. Okay, so that's why there's a portal with George Washington in the painting in the Capitol building. And that is why the Capitol building was part of the wild protest on Odin's Wild Hunt Day. It's all tying to the Tree of Life and Ascension. But the most important blood moon is that the Skull and Bones number 322, Yale's secret society that George Bush belongs to. And this blood moon on the Zavi Java star, on Pi Day, on Infinity Day, the Tower, Trump with the infinity hand, okay? This is all to do, I do believe, with Ascension. And Einstein told us, and I will do my next video on Einstein. I finally got a Facebook page actually up. I haven't started using it yet, so I'll drop the link for that page, and you guys can start posting stuff, and I'll start dropping videos and stuff in there, and that'll be fun because we can have a little community where we can actually drop links and stuff instead of just on Instagram where it's just a picture. So thanks for following me on the other platforms. I want to just keep growing this information because the more the people can get on the middle path, the more we bring a better world for the future souls.